Hi and welcome to my review of The Goodies, the complete BBC collection. Today we're up to Kitten Kong, the Montreux special edition. The Goodies open an animal clinic to try and earn more money. But when scientist Graeme starts feeding his special growth formula to undersized kitten Twinkle, things get wildly out of hand. The gigantic Twinkle terrorizes London, and the boys must dress as mice in order to get close enough to inject Twinkle with the antidote. Kitten Kong is one of those episodes where the Goodies got absolutely everything right. It is a real triumph and shows how, at their best, the Goodies were really in a class of their own. This episode combines laugh-out-loud jokes with physical comedy, elements of action, horror, and even the visual style of a Warner Brothers cartoon. The effect is delightful, delirious, and just so much fun. There are just so many highlights of this episode for me. Among them, I would have to include Tim and Graeme as the chess hooligans in the beginning of the episode, Bill and Tim's deliciously bitchy fighting, and the return of Bill's fringe vest. Graeme's animal puppetry in this episode is so superb, and it has never been used to greater effect. And I've also got to say, Tim's animal puppetry in the park scene with the kitten on the lead is also superb. I also loved the ad for Butch Tobacco for Men. I thought it was actually really sweet. Tim and Bill's haircuts are growing into what you'd have to describe as a page boy style. They're just so long now. Although I always say that if you're over 30, it should be called a page man. I really loved Tim's horror reaction when he sees the giant Twinkle for the first time. It is so beautifully done. And I always love it when the Goodies bring an element of horror into the episode. It adds a real frisson of excitement into the comedy. Another thing I loved in this episode was the return of Graeme's all-in-one zip-up suit, and the audience also goes wild when they see him getting into this. This episode features two brilliant songs from Bill Oddie. The first one, Dumb Animals, is fantastic. The second one, Kitten Kong, is even better. It is a real standout track and just adds so much to the greatness of this episode. The other great asset of this episode for me is the visual effects, which are so inventive and so beautifully executed. Remembering that this was in, 1972-73, the technology was limited and they really do so much with what they've got. From the model work involving the kitten, the use of puppets, CSO effects, it is all beautifully done and serves the comedy so effectively. The guest stars in this episode are Corbett Woodall, returning once again as the newsreader, and British television personality Michael Aspel appearing as the journalist. I do have a Michael Aspel story. I did meet him one time, but I think I might save that for another time. But really, the entirety of this episode was a highlight to me, and it does stand, in my opinion, as one of their best achievements. It deservedly won the Silver Rose at the Montreux Festival. The Goodies are just in such fantastic form here, both as writers and performers. They are really spot on with everything they're doing in this episode. I was actually thinking while I was watching this that this would be the one that I would show to someone who'd never seen the Goodies before, to really show them what they were like at their best. And in fact, the studio audience for this episode is going absolutely bananas. The laughter is much louder, noticeably so, than in many of the other episodes. I would have to say that Kitten Kong is so far the strongest episode in the series, and in terms of its concept and its execution, it was absolutely flawless. It is suffused with this wonderfully exuberant energy of these three men at the top of their game and bursting with creativity. I just enjoyed watching this episode so much, and it really gave me so many good laughs. Thank you so much for watching today, and I hope you'll join me next time when we begin Season 3 with the first episode, The New Office. Bye.